Hey friends, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm Brett and let's get messy. So, Life of the Party, the new Melissa McCarthy vehicle, which is co-written by her and directed and co-written by Ben Falcone, her husband. We follow Melissa McCarthy as this middle-aged mom. She is sending her daughter off to college. She's so happy, and then she gets the news dropped on her. Her husband's cheating, and he's dumping her to be with a new woman, and this sort of revitalizes Melissa McCarthy to be like, you know what I'm gonna do? I never graduated college. I'm gonna go to school with my daughter, live it up, and sort of have a new fresh start. And what follows is a movie that is good? Question mark. Okay, I will admit I've never seen a Ben Falcone directed Melissa McCarthy movie. These include like The Boss and Tammy, so I can't really compare them to other films. However, I love Melissa McCarthy. As many of you guys know, Bridesmaids is one of my favorite films of all time, and obviously one of the big reasons why that movie works is because Melissa is such an engaging on-screen presence. She is down for anything. Physical comedy, her verbal rapport with other actors is just incredible, and Melissa McCarthy is incredible in this movie yet again, and she views the world with such great optimism and a sweetness that is just wonderful. And it's a sweeter side of Melissa McCarthy that we don't always see. She's not the foul-mouthed woman that she is in a lot of other films. However, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys that this movie only works in its entirety. The first half of Life of the Party is honestly the worst of any movie I've seen this entire year. None of the jokes land. I was in a modestly full crowd, but it was crazy that nobody was laughing at any of the jokes. None of the dialogue works. It is so stupid, and I love stupid humor, but it just did not work at all. I said, this is gonna be the worst movie of the year, but then something happens halfway through. A little bit after Melissa McCarthy has sort of settled into the college university life and is getting assimilated to, you know, like hooking up with this one boy or partying it up with the sorority girls, it becomes palatable and sometimes even really hilarious and great. Melissa McCarthy is doing what she does best. I love particularly the scenes where she's just being hammy and crazy with the physical humor. There's a really prolonged scene where she has to give a speech in front of her class, tour de force, and it really turns itself around. It's weird because this movie started off so bad but really became so great as it settled into embracing what kind of a movie it is, with a sweetness and a humor and a lovability to it that I just can't deny. It's infectious in a lot of ways. You have to recognize though that this is a movie that on a technical scale is not impressive. There is not really a story. There's no overarching narrative. There's no hurdles that the characters go over. There's not even really conflict. It's just a series of comedic set pieces, gags that are lined up to form a movie. This movie somehow pulled it all together and it works. The fact that there aren't really villains, the fact that there's no conflict, that these women in this film just love each other, embrace each other, and support each other the whole way through, it's kind of, I guess, refreshing in a sense. Some people might call it lazy writing, but I just went along with it and I was surprised that I ended up really liking it. The supporting performances are just as good as Melissa McCarthy's. In particular, Maya Rudolph is hilarious as her best friend. I also love Gillian Jacobs, who's this comatose like Instagram star or whatever. All these girls end up feeling well defined in some aspect. If you like these actors, if you're willing to get past the first hour or so and embrace the nuttiness of the second half, then I think you're in for a relatively good time. However, I cannot give this a high score because of just how atrocious that beginning is. I do think that a fair rating for this movie though is a 6 out of 10. You could do much worse than this. Alright you guys, that is it for me. Now I have to turn it over to you. What did you think of Life of the Party? Did you love it or did you hate it? Also, did you hate that first half as much as I did but then end up loving it? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm really curious. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. That would be awesome. I have more reviews coming out this coming week and next week, so stay tuned for those. And I think that's about it, so thank you so much for watching you guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys at the movies.